Hare Krishna. So we are starting a new series today. Understanding relationship dynamics. So first day today, 6 steps of happy relationship. We'll discuss. So there's a small book written by one of our great acharya, Srila Rupa Goswami. This is called Shri Upadesha Amrit. Just 11 shlokas. That's all. I mean, in one page, entire book can be written. But all our acharyas have given a lot of commentaries on that because these 11 verses, 11 shlokas are very important. So, fourth verse, which we are going to discuss today, talks about how the love can increase between people and how the love can increase with the Supreme God. So he says, Dadati pratigranati guhyam akhyati prichati bhunte bhojayate chaiva shadbhir priti lakshanam. There's a 6 exchanges called 6 loving exchanges. Any two people or living entities, why only people, even animals, if they want to have a good relationship amongst themselves, so it is very important that they have these 6 loving exchanges. And ordinarily, most of us are already into it, but we'll see more into structured way. And also, what happens over the years or over the months, we have good friends, but now friends can be anything. It can be husband, wife, it can be brothers, it can be father and son, it can be mother and son, or your colleague, anyone, wherever there is a relationship. As the time passes, because it's Kali Yuga, it will be difficult for two people to remain always on same wavelength. There will be friction. So we need to do these things, these 6 things. We need to practice this 6 loving exchanges in order to remove any friction which is there. And again, reinstate that loving affection between two personalities. Why it is said relationship dynamics? Because relationship is dynamic. It is not static. So today relationship between two people may be good, but it may turn sour. Not to worry. Again, it can, be made good and positive. So it keeps changing. Relationship between two people keeps changing. What we want that in our life, relationship with those people, especially the near and the dear ones, we should have a good relationship. And even if it is changing, it should change in a positive direction. It should change in a positive direction. Not fluctuate between positive and negative, positive and negative. But that is how it's going on right now. Or sometimes rather, it's going more towards negative side, going down. With anyone and everyone. And all of you can easily relate with this. So, we'll not spend much time on discussing how these relationships are going down because they are going down. The degree, the intensity is reducing. What we should do to reinstate the relationship, that is what we'll discuss. So as I said, this verse says, Dadati pratigranati guhyam akhyati prichati. Bhungte bhojayate. So these are 6 things. What it is? Dadati means giving some gifts. It can be anything, not necessarily. See, gift has a value of emotions, not necessarily of the money. Even if a rich husband, super rich husband, a wife is also super rich, he gives a very small thing to wife. She'll be happy if that gift is filled with emotions. That's more important. So giving gift, dadati, pratigranati, and accepting gifts. Srila Prabhupada, I'll just read out. Srila Prabhupada writes, even in our ordinary dealings, we see when one businessman wishes to contact another businessman, he arranges a feast in a hotel. That means, you see, two businessmen, one businessman interested in another business, or want to take something, or want to sell something, want to strike a relationship. So he'll call him, fix a meeting in a restaurant, in a hotel. Why? We can eat together. Bhungte bhojayate. And then they express. Then he inquires about his business and he shares about his business. Guhyam akhyati pritchati. And there are presents which are exchanged. So 6 things. Gifts to be given, gifts to be accepted. If someone is giving you a gift, please accept it. Why to say no? Nobody says no. Sometimes when we are, not in the mood to talk to someone. In Sanskrit, they say man. In Hindi, we say root jana. It can be with anyone, not necessarily between a girl and a boy, or a man or a woman. It can be between father and son also. It can be between two brothers also. Bollywood is filled with these emotions. All Bollywood movies, brother, sister, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, father, son, mother, son, all these movies, movies like, movies are made on every relationship. Dosti, and then beta, and then ma, and then bhai, and then behan. All these movies are made on. So Bollywood knows exactly how to, portray in their movies, because that is how human society is made up, and especially Indian. Not only India, but Indian subcontinent. A lot of emotion, a lot of emotions. Overall, Asians also are very emotional people, but not like West is less. But India, you see our festivals, full of emotions. But naturally, it's going down. So then you give gift, and then you accept gift. Second, Guhyam akhyati prachati. You share your heart with the person, and the other person shares his or her heart with you. Sharing heart means in confidentiality, talking to each other. Like, I'm facing some problem, so then I discuss with some friend. With whom I will discuss? Not with everyone. With the person with whom I have relationship. And then other person sees, oh, he's coming and discussing very confidential matters with me. That means he has so much faith in me. And that will in turn get a response of that he will also share his heart with you. So sharing of hearts, sharing of emotions. And then bhungte bhojayate. That means you offer something for eating, and then he offers something for you to eat. It's very scientific. Why food? You will see when you give gifts, to someone, heart melts. When you share, heart melts. When you give food, you know, like we have a culture in every society all over the world, that be it Christmas, be it Diwali, be it Raksha Bandhan, be it Janmashtami, Ramnavami, be it Eid, any festival, we exchange foods. We exchange food. So if you go to someone's house, you went to visit a relative, you'll take some fruits. Even hospital, you take some fruits. You go to relatives, you take a box of sweets or a box of chocolates, whatever. You want to give something to eat. And then when you go to a friend's house or relative's house, and you sit, they offer water, then some snacks, then possible lunch or dinner. That's how they strike a relationship. So that is why these six things are Shadapir Priti Lakshanam. Priti means love. This will increase the love between two parties. And you can try with anyone. If you had a relationship with someone, but somehow due to the effect of Kali, it has reduced, that relationship is not there so much as it was earlier, try these six things. Start with giving gifts, start with giving some sweets or whatever. You don't give sweets to someone who's a diabetic patient. So you give something appropriate. You don't meet a friend who's like 35 years old and you are 35 years old and you want to give some gift and you give some toy. Yeah, if you give for his or her son or daughter, that's great. Try it out. And you see how things will change in life. Just try these two things or three things, because three has to be from your side and three has to come from other side as a reciprocation. Take some, food to eat, some sweets. Food, I'm not saying take some. Yeah, you can cook something also at your home and you take. Then you give some gift. And then share your heart. Not everything. Obviously, if your relation is not so good, then gradually start. Ask something. There's a, now, these things are already given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Updeshamrit. Somehow, this modern psychologist was trying to, work and talk about relationships. They're not able to get things. Say, take some relationship. Take two brothers. Two brothers, same father, same mother, always stay together. Now, after marriage, after they have kids, they separated on a bitter note. And now the situation has come that I'm taking extreme, that they're not even talking with each other. Faces are not like this, it's like this. One is looking east, one is looking west. Maybe they've changed the houses, they've changed the colonies, they've changed the cities, whatever. With anyone, I'm taking, say, brother, say husband, wife also. Sometimes, relationship fluctuates. So what you should do, one who's intelligent will do it. Even though you have been afflicted, there's a pain from the other person, but still, if you really want to strike a relationship, buy a small gift and give. Buy some sweets and give. Then ask something from them. Ask means you want to take a decision. Suppose your brother is there. He's like 2 years older or 2 years younger. Doesn't matter. And you want to buy a car. So you ask your brother, which car do you think I should buy? I have these 2, 3 options. What do you suggest? Initially, he will say, Jo kharidna hai, kharid de. Don't disturb me. No, no. I want to know your opinion. You're good at that. You know the machines. If you ask someone, what happens? Other person gets interested in giving advice. And once the other person is interested in giving advice, what happens? His heart will melt. Suppose you are upset with someone, and that some other party is coming to you and asking you, um, suppose you are a man, you are upset with your wife, and from past few days things are not going good, and then suddenly wife comes and asks, "Hmm, which she wants to buy something, so she wants to buy clothes." That that may upset you more because it's your money. But I'm just saying, don't worry about money right now. Worry about relationship. That's more important. Don't say that she's coming to you. What do you think? I want to buy this sari, but I like this one also. But I want to buy one. Which one shall I buy? Which one shall I buy? So much money you are wasting. All the money have been invested in your jewelry, in your kitchen, in your clothes, everything. It's a time for relationship. Few thousands here and there will not make a difference in your life. Relationship will. People are spending, thousands and lakhs and crores to have relationship with someone. Because man is a social animal. Can't be happy alone. So much loneliness in the world. And that is why when they are not able to strike a relationship with human being, they bring out pets, animals. So dog or cats, Middle East, they have these lions and all that, whatever. Then you talk to them. Or sometimes you get a fish tank at your home. There are a few fishes. You talk to them. And they reciprocate. That's how they reciprocate, no? They cannot understand your language, but they understand your emotion, they understand your gestures, and you understand. Sometimes you have these parrots. Someone showed me a video today. There was a parrot. It's a colorful parrot. And he's sitting alone and he's because parrots can imitate the voice. And he's calling out this lady at home. He's telling her, "Mummy, mummy." And then he's talking, all Hindi because that is how he's hearing. He wants something, so he's asking for it. So mother is saying, this lady is saying, "Oh, of my all children, you are the best one. You are the sweetest one." So that is how relationship strikes. So I was coming back to the same example. If your wife comes and she says, "Which one?" And you also need to little bit bend. And similarly, you should do. You should ask. So when you ask someone what is happening, Goyam Akhyati Prachati, starts from there. You don't have to discuss inner confidential things in your heart. That depends. You have to be intelligent enough to understand with whom to discuss. Sometimes your people feel lonely because they can't discuss. So then you find out a good devotee in a temple. You discuss. Like sometimes we tell our devotees also, staying outside, they come and discuss with temple devotees. Because sadhus have nothing to do, they'll not gossip here and there. But sometimes there is very confidential thing inside the heart, which a person is not at all comfortable with discussing with anyone in the world. There are things. So then we suggest that you come in front of deities. Krishna is there, Srimati Radharani is there. Just talk out, just speak out. Let the emotions in the heart flow out in the form of words in front of Krishna. That much faith you have. Krishna is not going to tell anyone else. But you need to strike that relationship. So that is important. So giving the gifts, accepting the gifts, giving the food, to eat anything, sweets or something. Like once I gave some sweets, Mahaprasad, to one devotee, and he's from South India. He said, "Why do you always bring sweets? Should bring something salty." Like in South Indian temples, you go, Tirupati and all other temples, you don't get sweets, Mahaprasad. They're there, but less. In North, we have culture of sweets. Like in even in I'm in Mumbai, if you go to any temple, you get some laddus, some sweets. But South, you get different type of rice and vadas. So then I understood, yes, someone from South, I should give the appropriate thing. So that is how it will work. And then discuss something about your life with them, and they will reciprocate. And these three things are so powerful. If you start, the other person will be forced to reciprocate. We have seen in society, sometimes family members, they have to go for a marriage. And they are thinking, what shall we give? We have to give some gift, or we put some cash in envelope. How much we should pay? Oh, he gave 5,000 when he came to our son's marriage. So we have to pay not less than that. We should pay 5,000 or more. So it's kind of, yeah, it may be external, but when it is from the heart, it forces the other person to reciprocate with the heart. Sometimes it may take time, but nonetheless, it will happen. Now, a lot of misunderstandings. Why relationships are failing? Lot of misunderstandings. First of all, there is no time. So there are misunderstandings because of time. We need to give time. We need to invest time. Otherwise, what? You want to be lonely, then what are you doing in the society? Then very impersonalist approach. People are not sharing their heart. They're not sharing one-to-one. They are like more or less, on WhatsApp, on Facebook. That's not very personal. It's very virtual. It has nothing like face-to-face meeting. That's more important. Especially you want to have a relationship with people with whom you are face-to-face, like family members, like some relatives, some friends. It's not that you are here and someone sitting in America and you want to strike a relationship. That may be a formal or official relationship. But at least with the people you are staying, that's more important. Then there are, more things like pride, anger. These are the things we'll talk later, why the relationships are not working. Now, we should have these 6 loving exchanges. But with whom? That's an important question. If you have these 6 loving exchanges with someone, your emotions will connect with that person. If you really want that relationship, gradually go, especially with the person who's not a devotee. The trust may be broken in future. So then go slow. But we need someone who is extremely trustworthy, with whom you can share your heart out. Very important. Otherwise, those emotions and those issues, they stay in your heart and they kind of disturb. Sometimes you eat something and you eat more. So when you eat more, and the food is not proper, and especially late in the night, it creates indigestion. And then food particles sitting in a stomach, is kind of hitting the walls of stomach. You want to go out, it's not digested. It's disturbing. You can feel that, and you continuously feel that uneasiness in your stomach. Similarly, when there are emotions in the heart and they are trying to go out, or come out, but you do not have anyone around with whom you can share, that disturbs, that leads to depression. And you don't want anyone, everyone to know what your heart is thinking about, feeling about. So we should have some very strong relationship with the devotee of Krishna, who's a trustworthy person, who's a mature person. Spend time. Try to try to make such a person a friend of yours. At least your emotions will be shared with such a person and you will be relieved, and then you can have your normal life. So it's very important. Power of association, the extreme power in association. There's so many examples. So we need association of devotees. You can stay in a family. Family is family of devotees. Wonderful. If not, then we can find a devotee and we should talk to them, express ourselves, and have these 6 loving exchanges with them also. These 6 loving exchanges will go with anyone and everyone, but the intensity, the degree will differ. Like between husband and wife, giving gifts, accepting gifts, it has to be, and the intensity has to be higher. But with a colleague, okay, you may do little bit. Sometimes you have a good relationship with your colleague. From past 3 years, you both are together. And then you share a little bit about your heart, about your situation in the family. So the intensity will differ. It can turn to be a dangerous situation when you trust someone. You share your emotions. The other person is not mature. Other person is not trustworthy. Other person is not able to understand your emotions, and then things go out of control. He will talk with other person, other people in the society, in the company, and you will be heartbroken. So it's very important, before we invest our trust, we associate with someone, but be very careful. That's what is happening today. So ideally it is said, okay, you can give gifts to anyone and everyone, no problem. You can also give food, prasadam, to everyone. We travel, even some beggars come, we give them. But we don't eat with everyone. We don't eat with everyone together. And then third thing, so you have to be a little careful while eating with someone. And the third thing, disclosing our heart in confidentiality and hearing from other person. So we cannot disclose our heart with everyone and anyone. It has to be only with very, very few people, maybe 2 or 3, not much, not more than that. And the other person has to be a devotee. If you disclose your heart to a person who's an atheist, who's not a devotee, who's a Mayavadi, who's having this demoniac propensities, then your bhakti is gone. Like suppose some of you may be just starting bhakti, chanting like 2 rounds. It take 15-20 minutes, and then read Bhagavad Gita for 10-15 minutes. Now, there's a very special thing you're doing. You discuss with someone. Or I'm chanting Hare Krishna mantra, 2 rounds, 15 minutes, we're reading 15 minutes Bhagavad Gita, attending this Sunday class. And the other person is having this demoniac mentality or an atheistic mentality. Oh, yeah, that's good. Then it's not good because you're wasting your time, and ultimately, what is the use? Is Krishna coming to help you out? So, kind of, they'll discourage you. They'll poison your consciousness. Even if they are not devotees, they may be not atheists, they may be not demoniac people, but they have these negative ideas. Oh no, why you don't do this? Why you don't do this? You come here, do this, do this. What is there in this con? So people will talk about it. So whenever you are practicing Krishna consciousness, you practice, you share with a devotee, and then with outsiders, try to judge who's the person who's interested. They say, oh, I attended this lecture of ISKCON. And someone said, all this is time waste. No use. Enjoy. Why you're spending your Sunday 1 hour with them? You'll enjoy. So then okay, this is not the person with whom I want to talk further on this topic. But that much maturity we also have, especially in terms of Goyamakhati Prachati, revealing one's heart in confidentiality. We have to be very careful. We have to judge people. We do not have to be judgmental, but we have to judge and discriminate among people. And then you talk to someone else. Oh, this yesterday Sunday, I attended this 1 hour lecture, from ISKCON. It's very interesting. Really, I also attend different lectures, and then he's same party. So then gradually you can have more relationship with them. That is why if we should have someone very close in our family, someone who is a devotee, a sadhu, with whom you discuss very confidential matters, because we need someone. Earlier in maybe 50 years before, the trust factor was much higher. You can discuss your confidential things with others and they will not mind. And now you just say and then it will go viral all over the world. You don't want to do that, but you can't hold it. The emotions, it becomes, over flooded with emotions. So then you have to channelize those emotions and discuss with some devotee. So devotee association is most important. Krishna, who came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was talking to Ramananda Rai. And Ramananda Rai is an incarnation of Arjuna. So in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is asking question, and in almost 500 years ago, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna, who's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is asking questions to Ramananda Rai, who is actually Arjuna. So the role reversal. So then at one point of time he asked, Ramananda, please tell me, which is one thing which gives pain to our heart, the intense pain to our heart, most painful situation in our life. Ramananda says, my Lord, if I do not have association of a devotee, that is very painful situation, most painful situation. And Mahaprabhu says, yes, true. And what is the most joyful situation? Ramananda says, opposite. When we have association of devotees of Krishna, is the most joyous or joyful situation in our life. So it's very important that we have these 6 loving exchanges with 1 or 2 devotees at least. You have to be very careful also. I told you, not that everyone can understand you. So you have to find out someone who's mature, who understands these things. ISKCON is an open organization and everyone comes and becomes devotee, apply tilak, put kantimala. But then you have to find out the person who can understand your situation. And there are so many hundreds and thousands of mature devotees all over the world. And then you discuss with them. You can have 6 loving exchanges with them. And devotees, obviously, when you go to meet a devotee, he'll give you prasad. He'll give you some, some gifts. Like right now, I have some gifts on my table. I have to give to someone. So one devotee I have to give, so I've kept it. So these exchanges should happen. And then, in a family, very close. And then there are other family members, relatives, and colleagues, and this and that. And then with different degrees, you can have 6 loving exchanges. But it's very important. Otherwise, things may go, or things are actually going off track. Then loneliness creeps in. Why? Because there's no relationship. Or sometimes there is animosity between two people. They may be husband, wife, they may be brothers, very close relationship. But animosity is developed. So we can try that. Don't worry. If the relationship is completely spoiled, still don't worry. It can work out. It is a dynamic situation. Relationships in this world are dynamic. So relationships, we discussed, relationships are going more towards negative side or fluctuation. So what we need to do, we need to have better relationship. And because relationship are dynamics, we can mold it. And we can change the situation. If the relationship become like this, one is looking east, one is looking west, it can become like this and come together. It's possible. Then we discuss how to do it. Then 6 loving exchanges. Dadati pratigranati, guhyamakyati prachati, bhungte bhojayate chayava, shadbir priti lakshana. These 6 loving exchanges. And then we discuss that we should have 1 or 2 devotees in our life with whom we have these 6 loving exchanges. And then the most important personality in the entire creation, who is most dear and near to our soul, is Krishna. We must have these 6 loving exchanges with Krishna also. So you can give some gifts to Krishna. Like you come to temple, or you have a home temple, you have a photograph of Krishna, Radha Krishna. You offer 1 tulsi leaf, 1 fruit, 1 glass of water every day. Not a big deal. Every day 1 glass of water. Come on. Nobody is so poor in the world that cannot offer 1 glass of water. So Krishna says, oh, he offered me a glass of water. So I have to also reciprocate. So then Krishna will reciprocate in his own way. Don't try to have a business with Krishna. I'm giving a glass of water. Please give me, this contract. Please give me 95% marks in my exam. Not like that. It's a loving exchange. There should be love and not a business deal. So you're giving, then you go to temple sometimes, once a week. Take some gift for Krishna. What can you take? Take a flower. It's a big deal. 1 flower. Pluck 1 flower from somewhere, bring it. Now Krishna becomes, he is very grateful. Krishna becomes so grateful. He is like sold out. Oh, this person has brought a flower for me. He's thinking about me. Krishna is a person who can be easily, pacified, or easily, you can strike relationships very easily with Krishna, because his doors are open, his heart is open. He wants all of us to come and talk to him. And then Guhyamakyati, you talk to Krishna. Even if you don't come to temple daily, then you have photograph of Krishna, just sit there and talk to him. Will Krishna respond? Yes. He has given so much instruction in Bhagavad Gita, then you will be able to understand Bhagavad Gita, because now your heart is opening. to chant Hare Krishna mantra, become a devotee. So four levels, four levels of different relationship we have to strike. One is with everyone in the world, lesser degree, lesser intensity, but relationship has to be there. Then with very close knit family members, husband, wife, mother, father, son, daughter, very close. Then we have to have relationship with devotee, very important, where we can open our heart. And then also we have to have a relationship with the Supreme Lord, our eternal Master, Shri Krishna. And then allow him to reciprocate with you. So these four levels, if they are going good, you'll be satisfied, you'll be happy. You will not be unnecessarily burdened with too much emotions, negative or positive. If you're very happy, unless you share that happiness with someone, you cannot become really happy. That's why you get a good news. Suddenly you get a message, oh, you are being promoted to general manager of your company. Oh, I want to share with someone. But then nobody is there to share it. Even though you become general manager of company and you have this such a great opportunity, so much promotion, money, increment, everything. If you don't have heart-to-heart relationship with someone, then you cannot enjoy that happiness. So happiness you can only enjoy when you spread it. Last time we discussed about it, spreading happiness. So you have to have relationship. So these four levels are needed. At all four levels, we need relationship with general public, with close-knit family members, with devotees, with Krishna. And then your life will be completely satisfied, full of happiness, tranquility. That's what you get in bhakti. Hare Krishna.